Okay, so we are currently in a trade. Now it is the morning, so that's why I look a bit rough. And essentially, we've taken a bit of a risk here on the account to try and get some profit in early for the week. I'll show you the trade in a minute, and my reasons behind it later down the line, if it works, if it doesn't. But we're going to hopefully see if this can go to TP, as this will put us in a nice position for the account. But let me just turn the camera around and I will show you the position we have taken. Okay, so this is the position we're in currently. As you can see, we've gone long on GU back to this high here. Reason being is obviously we've got this massive gap to fill. And if we just look at this structure, it's looking very bullish. Now, one thing I do want to keep an eye on is the potential for a reversal. So if it gets to around this area here, we might go back to break even or reduce risk significantly, because I don't want to be risking too much on this trade. It's definitely a bit more of a tricky one. So we're going to see if price wants to make a retracement, because even if it does want to sell, it should come back up to this zone here. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of this position. But obviously I will keep you updated as the time goes on. Okay, so we are starting to push the upside now. We're up about £7 on the account. Now, as I said, I'm going to reduce risk around this area here, because we don't want to get caught out by anything rough. But that's what we're looking at currently. So I will update you and let you know what happens with this position. Okay, so we're now starting to push the upside. We're up about £12 on this trade, but we are going to keep aware of that area I've marked and reduce risk when it gets to there. So we will see what happens when it gets to that level. You can see it's still pushing up about £14, bringing the total account currently to £88. So pushing up still. Now this is the area that we want to be careful for, so we are going to manage accordingly and see what happens. Okay, so as you can see, it did reject this area pretty strongly, which is something I didn't want to be involved with. But what we're going to do is we will be able to get back into this depending on how this candle closes. So we're going to see what happens with this candle close. That was a quick trade. I think we finished up £14. So we will see what happens next. I'm thinking that if we can get another tap into this area, we're going to go short, something like this. But I'll have to see, because we've kind of come back down to that area already. So we'll see. But as you can see, we closed above that, closed on that fib. So I didn't want to be in that trade anymore. Whether it goes to TP or not, it was not valid. But we'll take the £14, and I will put somewhere on the screen right now the screenshot of the fact that we took the trade. Okay, so we're going to go on to the breakdown now of the trade we took today, run through how much we made, what the account is on, and then talk about next steps and what I plan to do with the account going forward. Also, I wore green because, I don't know, we made money today, so I thought it was kind of fitting. Regardless, we're going to go onto the charts now, and I will talk through quickly why we took this trade and what we plan to do going forward. Okay, so as you can see, this was GU from today. In terms of the trade, obviously in the iPhone footage videos, you can see that we bought down here. Now, there are a few reasons behind this trade. Now, I want to make it very clear with this flip account, to get to the amount needed to buy the prop firm, there's going to be a lot more risk around the trades, obviously not necessarily taking the perfect setups, because you know, we're trading with a really small amount and we want to get to the prop firm quickly. I wouldn't recommend doing this necessarily, but this is just to, you know, expedite the process so we don't have 1,000 episodes on the flip account and none for the prop firm video. So we bought down here. Now, reason being was, obviously you can see overnight we had this obvious trend to the upside. So visually it was pretty likely going to be bullish, which is what I said in my Telegram. Now, on top of that, with other factors, we had the gap from market open yesterday. Now, normally, and I mean normally, this doesn't always happen, but price will like to trade over Monday towards the fill of the gap before doing whatever corrective move it wants to do. So that was our second kind of reason. So we had, obviously, as I said, we had the gap fill, we had the obvious bullish structure. Now, some people might have said, oh, well, you know, didn't this break to the downside? Technically, yes, slightly, but it wasn't a strong break. And on top of that, we do have this massive gap over our head. If this wasn't there, my bias might be slightly different, just given the fact that how much of a pool these gaps will typically have to be filled. It just made sense that price would continue to the upside first before going long. Now, we actually closed our position in this area here. Now, the reason for this was because this was a far riskier setup and there was still a chance it could sell because of the break to the downside. I didn't want to, obviously with an account flip, be risking more than I would want to, but also I wouldn't want to be risking the account on a trade that may or may not go wrong for me. So I did say if we got a strong rejection in this area, which we did with this wick, that I would close and take profit, and we did. Obviously price continued to the upside, but you don't want to be in that kind of situation with market moving in that way. Now, in terms of the account, as you can see, we are sitting at £85.70. I've just moved my face cam this side just because I think it covers the account number, but obviously I will prove with withdrawals and stuff when I buy the prop firm that this is all legit. 100% it is, I promise. So the account's now £85.70. We started at £50 or £55, so that's about a £30 profit currently, and we need to get this account to about 156 to 160 pounds total equity, or total balance, to then withdraw that, buy the prop firm, and leave our original amount invested. We only want to be buying the prop firm with profits, not with actual capital. So £100 will be enough for a somewhat decent prop firm. So what we're going to do is keep trading this. Obviously we can increase risk slightly as the account grows and the balance gets bigger, but for now that's currently where it's sat at. It's sat at £85.70. So it's a decent percentage gain for 3 episodes into the series. That's nearly an 100% gain in 3 episodes, so it's going well. But hopefully you kind of saw where the sense was behind this trade. As I said, more high risk on the flip. It is still calculated, but it is more high risk because I want to get this bit done so we can trade properly on the prop firm. But what I can also do is, if we do have some excess profits, we can continue this account, continue this flip alongside, to maybe buy some more prop firms or something like that. That would be cool. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you're enjoying the series, and I will see you tomorrow for maybe another episode or maybe a different video. Don't know yet. But either way, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.